Hello and welcome back to my favorite people. And as usual, thank you very much for watching this lecture video. We are talking about chemical reaction of acyl chloride. Last lecture, I showed you how to use acyl chloride and turn it to an ester. We're going to practice more chemical reactions in order to create other reagents. Remember, we said acyl chlorides are the most reactive one. I'm going to show you this slide again. So from acyl chloride down to the amide, the reactivity goes down. We can use acyl chloride to create technically any other functional group. And we practice the anhydride, or we said if we take acyl chloride and treat it with alcohol, we can turn it to an ester, or like we can use nitrogen NH3 in order to turn it to amide. Then we're going to practice some example button. So here we go. We have acyl chloride. We're reacting with at least, listen carefully, at least 2 moles from NH3. And the first mole of it will be used to go after the carbonyl group, and the chloride will leave the system, and that's going to give us RCO, and then we get NH2. What happened with the third hydrogen? The third hydrogen will be paired with chloride, and that's going to give us HCl. But HCl should not stay inside the solution. And the reason for it, because this nitrogen still, it has a lone pair. And if you add hydrogen or H plus to it, it's going to turn to a species with a positive charge, and it will be really, really unstable. Very soon it will leave the system. So technically the chemical compound get decomposed. In order to save the product and also push the reaction toward right side, we need to get rid of this the HCl. And the way we do it, we use extra mole from the NH3. So the HCl is going to react with the second mole from NH3, and that's going to give us NH4, and the chloride will be paired with the ammonium, and that's going to give us a salt. So the purpose of the second mole is to neutralize the HCl. And again, we are using an amine group this time. Instead of ammonia, we are using primary amine. And if we use a primary amine, the product will be this RCO. And now we have 2 hydrogen attached to nitrogen. One of them will be eliminated. We get only 1. And here we have R. And what else? There is a lone pair there. And plus, again, we get R. I go NH. This one, it will be 3 times. And also we will have a Cl there. And Cl, it will have a negative charge. And so what did we get? We managed to get amide. And our amide, as you see here, it has only 1 R group attached to it. So I had 2 hydrogens. One of them went and got paired with technically with the chloride, and the second one is still attached to hydrogen. Nitrogen. Okay. How about this? Let's eliminate another one. And this time we are using like a nitrogen with the 2 R groups, and there is only 1 hydrogen attached to it. So this one, it will be eliminated. We get R, C, O, and next we get here N. And this N, it will have 2 R groups attached to it. And of course, lone pair, plus we get R 2 times nitrogen. Used to have only 1 hydrogen. Now it's going to be 2. And this one will have a positive charge. We'll pair it with the chloride, which has a negative charge. So as you see, it depends what you start with. When I say what, I'm talking about the order of the nitrogen, with whether it's a primary, secondary. I mean, you can get different products. So we practice ester, and next we switch to amide, amide, and I showed you how to get different version of it. Now, can I reduce the acyl chloride and turn it to, for example, let's say a ketone or aldehyde, or go one step more and turn it to alcohol? And that's possible if you use a strong reducing agent, and like lithium aluminum hydride. You can first get rid of the chloride, so we will have aluminum attached to 4 hydrogens. And remember, those hydrogens are hydride. That means they're going to have negative charge. So there will be nucleophile. That nucleophile, it will attack the carbon of the carbonyl, and now this one, it will get negative charge. And at the end, chloride is going to leave the system. So I'm going to say at the end, chloride will leave the system. Let me draw it that way. Okay, so first step of this reaction, it will be this product. We will get RCO, the chloride, we will replace it by hydrogen, or technically hydride. What happened with the chloride? We will have a chloride there, and it's negative. But then when we look to the reaction, it says X's of lithium aluminum hydride. And if I have another mole from it, lithium aluminum hydride, then I can, like as we mentioned it in the previous chapter, the carbon of a carbon, whether it's aldehyde or ketone, it can be reduced by strong reducing agent like this. And so again, another mole. Okay. And so say we have aluminum with 4 hydrogen attached to it. This hydrogen again is going to go after the carbonyl, and at the end it will give me this species. So I get H. Now here we got O with a negative charge. And of course, a negative charge, it can be, it can be balanced with a chloride or any species that has with lithium, my bad, with lithium, not a chloride. And so we have lithium there with a positive charge that is can neutralize it. But why do we need to have water? We need to have water to neutralize the OH and turn it to alcohol. So next step, we're going to treat it with water in order to get the final product as alcohol. Okay, so now let's go after order of that alcohol. And our alcohol is attached to one carbon, the carbon attached to only one R group, so I'm going to call it primary alcohol. If you start with acyl chloride, you can turn it to a primary alcohol by using strong reducing agent. This reducing agent is such a strong one that it will not stop when we get the aldehyde. It will reduce it to a primary alcohol. So there is no way for you to isolate technically the aldehyde. What if I want aldehyde instead of alcohol? In that case, you need to use a like bulky reducing agent. Why? Because again, you're gonna get involved in additional the substitution reaction, and that first step of it is addition of the nucleophile to the carbonyl group. If it's bulky, steric effect will reduce adding second mole. So this time I will use a giant or steric reducing agent. Again, we have aluminum. It has 1 hydrogen, but we have 2 bulky groups there. Those bulky groups, 3 bulky groups, that they will make it harder. It will make it harder for the reducing agent, technically, to reach the center. Okay, so first step, again, hydride will be added, chloride will leave the system, and we will get RCO, and now we got H. So what did we get? We got an aldehyde. And instead of primary alcohol, we got an aldehyde. And this is the beauty of such a reducing agent. Yes, it's strong enough, but because it's bulky, we can stop the chemical reaction here and get the aldehyde from the reaction. The acyl chloride is super reactive, and we mentioned this one many times. We can get it involved in Grignard reactions. Instead of just simply reducing by an hydride, we can add a carbon with a negative charge to it. But then again, it depends how many of Grignard reagents you are using. You get different product. You can stop it when you get ketone, or you can go one step more and turn it to a tertiary alcohol. So first step of this chemical reaction, we have R with a negative charge and MgBr with a positive charge. R with a negative charge, it will attack the carbonyl, and the Cl will leave that system. So first step, we get this. Now we have an R there, and plus we got MgBrCl. Okay. Now this is going to be a ketone, but the ketone can be used and reduced by another mole of Grignard reagent and turn it to let's say tertiary alcohol. So next step, I'm going to add another Grignard reagent to it. I go R, MgBr. Okay, again, this one has a negative charge, and it can go after the carbonyl. And if we call this one R1, and let's say this one is going to be R2, so we get this. We get, again, carbonyl, forgive me. We get O with a negative charge. We had R before, now we added the new R there. So let's call this one R1, and this is going to be R2. So we got now tertiary alcohol. And if I treat this one with aqueous solution at the end, that's going to give me a tertiary, technically, alcohol. And the problem here is that there is no way for you to, to technically stop it. And when you get ketone, the reaction is going to go forward, and it will give you a tertiary alcohol instead of a ketone. Okay. What if I want to get a ketone instead of a tertiary alcohol? Is there any way to still use the acyl chloride and turn it to a ketone? The answer, yes, we have a method, and that can be useful to get you ketone. Okay, and that's going to be the Gilman reagent. The Gilman reagent is going to give you R group or alkyl group like a Grignard reagent, but it will give you only one R, and the reaction, it will stop there. So first step of this reaction, again, we have a copper, and with two alkyl groups, those they have negative charges, and R will be added. R will be added to the carbonyl, and this one will leave the system, and so we get R, CO, and now we got R there, and or you can just simply write it here. And what else? What's going to happen to the chloride? The chloride will be paired with copper, so we get copper. This one is a copper 2, so we're going to get technically copper chloride there, and also we have R there. And cool. Forgive me, this one. Okay, this one is actually a copper +1. Yeah, it's a copper. My bad. Sorry, copper. Yeah, copper +1. My bad, because I have two R's, and it will be -1, and it will be paired with lithium. So that's technically is going to turn. Let's say we have R here. This one is a plus, that one minus. What's going to happen to the chloride? The chloride will be paired with lithium, and it will give you lithium chloride. Now, regardless of what's going to happen to lithium or chloride or copper, we are trying to understand the nature of this product. This one, it has a carbonyl that attached to two R groups, and so I'm going to call it ketone. And the reaction is going to stop here, and it's not going to move forward. Okay, so we started with carboxylic acid, and I said the problem with carboxylic acid that it doesn't have a good leaving group. If you turn it to a good one, then you have a good starting point that you can turn it to anything that you want. And the second we replaced the OH by chloride, and many doors in front of us were opened, and we could turn it to an ester, amide, a different version of amide, to alcohol, tertiary alcohol, to aldehyde or ketone, and how can I get this one? Is just simply you can actually add the bulky reducing agent, and if you do it, that's going to give you technically aldehyde instead of a ketone. So it's really, this is what I'm talking about. And if you just add bulky reducing agent instead of ketone, you will get instead of alcohol, you will get an aldehyde. I'm going to stop the lecture here, and thank you very much for watching this lecture.